What's up guys, it's me Deshaun. Today we're going to be reviewing a manga that I enjoy a lot. And this manga is Dolly Kill Kill. Quite frankly, it is a very unique battle shonen. Because I've never seen a battle shonen with a Kimokawa style. If you don't know what Kimokawa is, it is the act of adding or combining something that could be unpleasant, scary, or even disgusting with something that could be cute, pretty, or charming. As I mentioned before, not only is this unique to a battle shonen because again, I've never seen it done before, but this really adds a very unique sense of horror that I've really never seen in any other manga before. It's so disturbing and stomach turning that I'd really appreciate it if this became its own manga genre. But to give you an example of what Kimo Kawaii is, let's say there is a doll. You try to break the doll's arm off or cut the doll in half, and then you begin to see human organs and it starts to bleed. That cute doll that you were just looking at has a whole story behind it, and that story just so happens to be very frightening. Oh, this doll was alive the entire time? Ew, it's disgusting to see this cute thing bleed. It's kind of funny because I think my slight appreciation for these kinds of things comes from when I used to watch Happy Tree Friends when I was younger. But hey, go figure. In terms of writing, I just really feel like that's something that is very good to play with because it has a lot of potential. It really plays around with your perception of things because you'd always think, oh, this cute thing wouldn't be capable of that, or you just judge a book by its cover. In a way, the way these things catch you off guard would probably be its most appealing aspect. This murderous looking thing could actually be kind of cute, or this cute thing could be very murderous. And this manga plays around with this perspective a lot, and it's actually very well written. So to give you guys a rundown on what this manga is about, Judgment Day happens on Earth, and on this day, aliens invade the planet. These aliens are so frightening in nature that after observing humanity for some time, processing things that humans like cute things, they decide that it would be a smart or even clever decision to disguise themselves as these same cute things that humans are accustomed to. It's funny when you think about it because these aliens are so elaborate, so smart to come up with a scheme such as this, but despite that, they seem less intelligent and even naive for thinking something like this would have worked. And this plays around with a form of sentient horror. Like, these beings have such an advanced conscience compared to us humans because they're able to develop these weird technologies and come up with a plan like this, but they overlook something so simple. They changed their grotesque figures so the humans wouldn't run away from them. But despite this, they are so monstrous in their true forms, the guise that they wear over themselves does nothing because humans are still frightful upon their appearance. As they land on the earth, mysterious bugs go around and start biting people. Now, what exactly do these bites do? I will let you figure that out when you start to read this. Also, in this review, I will not be spoiling anything. But as they land on Earth, they begin to suck humans up in these flesh-like vacuums, crunching them all together. The suction of this vacuum is so strong it forces the bones and the flesh of the humans to crack and squish as it forcefully gets shoved down deeper into the vacuum. And when they hit the end of the vacuum, this giant mouth begins to eat them, burping and letting out a mist. If I had to compare the intimidating dollies in this manga to anything, I would compare them to the Titans from Attack on Titan. The impact that they have when they first appear and just how horrible of a way they dispose of their victims are very reminiscent to one another. That same feeling that you had, that same hopelessness that you had while reading Attack on Titan for the first time, you might actually get that if you read this manga as well. Well, until the power system actually gets introduced in this manga. And whenever they do use this power system, it looks amazing, because you'll be greeted with a very distinct paint-esque design whenever they use it. Despite these characters finding this newfound way to actually fight back the dollies, and despite how cool these powers are, it actually takes away from the overall stakes of the manga. I don't know if that would be an issue for you personally as a reader, but me, I actually did not have any issue at all, because for me, there are enough things progressing in the plot to keep me reading. And one of those things, and probably the thing that I think about the most when I do look at this manga, would be the main character, Iruma. And when I say I like this main character, I mean that. There's just something so satisfying about seeing him live his ordinary life. A relatable life where he actually has a crush on this girl, has an amazing best friend, and is genuinely just living a very good life. But then one day that is all taken away from him, and you see him literally at his worst. When I say this main character is down bad after Judgment Day, he completely loses his mind. He's suicidal. He's too much of a coward to even take his own life. So he asks others to do it for him. This guy is very down bad. But as we see his character progress, he starts to pick himself back up again. After seeing him in this state for so long, and then finally you see him start to get back to normal and develop being even better than he was before. It just genuinely hits different. But on the note of being epic or just straight edgy, seeing Iruma snap is just so fucking fire. In terms of just being a cool main character, he's definitely up there. It's really surprising because you wouldn't expect this manga to be so fleshed out for being a manga about a bunch of dolls running around on Earth and basically killing people. I'm not usually into reading B tier or C tier mangas, but this manga right here has to be an exception. The overall themes about what it means to be human. This original style and premise being used to such a degree. You could write this manga off as just a generic battle shonen, but it is definitely more than that. In fact, I feel as if it's pushing the genre. It really is the full package. It gives you something unique, an interesting power system, great characters. The art is absolutely amazing, and most of you probably recognize this art from Blue Lock. But this is actually the manga the artist of Blue Lock worked on before Blue Lock. Me personally, I don't know him for Blue Lock. I know him for this manga because I read it a long time ago. But I feel like a major selling point for Blue Lock is the way he handles these exaggerations and that dark style he kind of gives when it comes to that sports manga. But when it comes to Dolly Kill Kill, you can see that same stuff with creativity that's not bound by the realms of reality. Since it's not just a soccer manga, you can really see just how far he can take things. A moment that best represents this and would be one of my favorite moments in the series, it would be the moment when we get a look inside of Iruma's head. We slowly begin to see him break down as his heart is getting consumed. And as Yu begins to explore his heart, we get some very interesting imagery here. Once she opens the door to Iruma's heart and continues going deeper into it, she opens more doors, even more doors, exploring the amalgamation of all the bits and pieces that ultimately make up his psyche. Even the bits and pieces that make up his true nature, the pieces that you don't want to see. The part of him deep inside, despite seeing her as a friend, that wants to fuck Banira. It's not every day that you can see these types of things get tackled in manga, outside of maybe Tokyo Ghoul or Soul Eater, and this manga has a very dark way in going about it. Yet despite that, it still gives you a stylistic depiction on what it's like when we get to see Iruma's mind. Especially when we get a look at this last door. All these warnings, danger, keep out, turn around, stop. But past this door, we see this black smoke embodiment of Iruma's true feelings. And we get to see how the dollies affected him. This monstrous embodiment of the darkness inside of Iruma's heart begins to run free, bursting through all of these doors, trying to reach to the surface, and Banira struggles to hold it back. This moment right here was just something that really left an impression on me. This manga has so much going for it, and there's so much to talk about. And I'm trying my absolute best not to spoil anything, because I know the moment you do read this manga, your jaw will drop from what you see. You will feel uncomfortable. You will be disgusted. And alongside that, you'll read a story that actually has a meaning to it, with a cast of characters that you just can't help but to like. I've been talking about Iruma for a while, but I haven't even talked about Namekawa. And to be honest, I see him practically becoming the fan favorite out of the entire cast. his backstory on becoming a hero, and alongside his fun personality and design. If you can't get behind Aruma as a character, then he is a perfect replacement to that. If you're not sold on the Kimo kawaii horror, or even the grotesque, fleshy, biological horror that's in this manga, then at the very least, in terms of a read that you could get out of this, I would just say it is just genuinely a good battle shonen. Personally, I can't really think of any real gripes that I have with it outside of the fact that the story was most likely cut short, because it seems as though the author planned on writing more, but I guess they didn't get enough sales or something, so we kind of get cut short ending. But despite that, I definitely recommend a read of this manga, even though it's most likely not a manga for everyone. After all, it is very nasty, graphic, even gory at times. But if you're into those kind of mangas, I definitely say go for it. If I had to give this a score, probably be an 8.75 or 8 out of 10, somewhere in between that range. And with all that being said, hope you guys check out this manga. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like for me to make more Dolly Kill videos, because there's still a lot I can talk about with this manga outside of this review, let me know in the comment section below. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video.